Okay, we are back, folks, with all conditions racing department athlete Lauren Gregory. I guess we're a day and a half ahead of the classic race here at the 2025 World Championships. How you doing?
Doing well. Yeah. Can't complain.
We were just reminiscing that this is not your first time racing at an international level, even though you're still very young in the early part of your career. You started racing internationally at a World Championship as a junior. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I also made a junior cross team in like 2015. Wow. So that was also super fun and different. But yeah, in between, after I graduated high school and leading into college, I was able to go to Primana in 2017. So it was really cool because Allie Mack was on the team as a senior, Addie Bracey, names that are still running.
Yeah.
Joe Gray, Andy Wacker.
Star-studded.
Legends.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was really cool. It's cool that these people are still genuinely my competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Longevity.
You got a lot of runway left.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game in trail is how long you can keep doing it.
Yes.
I mean, it's funny though, but you could also kind of act like a mentor. I mean, Sofia Rodriguez is here in studio with us. We're going to talk to her in a second. And obviously the U20 team for Team USA is here and it seems like they're really active and participating. Have you been able to act as a mentor even though you're still very early in your career?
I don't know what they see me as, but I feel like I'm kind of a junior plus. And I feel like Paul Kerr sees me as that too, because I oftentimes don't check my email. So he's got to text me individually like he does with the juniors. So I don't know. I think hopefully it has been cool because I didn't struggle with this, but I was able to go to Thailand while I was still in college and running for Arkansas. So it's been cool to see a couple girls on the team that are in college and have been able to coordinate with their college coaches to get to come here or work this into their training or say, I'm not going to sign with you unless I can also do trail. So, I mean, I don't know if I definitely had nothing to do with that, but I found that really inspiring because that was kind of part of my journey in college as well.
Wow.
But, yeah. So I think this younger generation, obviously Sophia is incredible and in a league of her own, but it's seems like it's kind of being brought into this next generation for in a professional way. It's
so interesting. And this has been actually a theme this week. Lucas Earl, who was the 5th or 6th ranked athlete in the uphill, goes to school at Ole Miss, and they told him he couldn't compete in the uphill race. And then I was speaking to one of the U20 Team USA athletes whose name I can't remember, but she said that she was running collegiately and that her team said you can't compete, so that she quit the team to focus on trails. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think hopefully that teaches or sets an example and teaches college programs that it's possible. Yeah. And they're kind of only losing talent by excluding this as part of the world of running. So was it hard to convince the Razorbacks, the University of Arkansas athletic department, that you should go to Thailand? I think before I don't know, 2022 or 23, trail wasn't as much on the scene. And I showed up to college being hey, I want to be a pro trail runner. I didn't know that was really a career, but I'm this is just what I'm going to do. Yeah. And our coach was kind of a little older. So I don't think he knew. He never said no, but I think he would just laugh and be what are you talking about? Yeah. But, I mean, I didn't have eligibility for cross that whole fall. And I tried to go pro in 2022 and talk to a bunch of groups and say, hey, I want to run trail. And all the groups were cool, you can easy run on trails if you want. And I'm no, that's not what I want. So I came back in 23, took my 6th year, and I didn't have cross, so I could go to Thailand. Okay. So they didn't really, I think if it impeded with nationals or indoors, outdoors, there's no way. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of hard, and I didn't really tell him a lot of the things I would do in the summer. Just go do them and show up fit, and he just didn't ask questions. So he wasn't against it, but also probably didn't know a lot of the things that were going on.
So cool.
That's just dope. I don't know. I wasn't aware that so many athletes at the collegiate level were trying to navigate this. So I don't know, because it seemed 23 with Anna, Mika, Christian, and I we all kind of randomly got swooped up in this collegiate to pro kind of segue where brands were providing individual contracts to get to pursue track, road, trail, whatever you want. Yes.
And it wasn't like that before. Like I wasn't having those conversations in 2022. It was like Bowerman or like NAZ in these groups that like were very pigeonholed in track. So I don't know what happened. Like I think the wave of trail growing like scooped us up, but I mean, it's an option. Yeah. It really is. It's super cool.
I mean, it's really cool. What, you're like 25 or 26?
Yeah.
And this is your third time competing at the Trail Mountain Running World Championships going back to when you were U20.
Epic.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. Great. All right. Well, let's talk about your season a little bit. It's been another hot one for Lauren Gregory. You qualified for the Classic at Sunapee Scramble. I think you were 4th at Broken Arrow. You won the Tepic Trail, Golden Trail race. And then what else did you do recently?
I did attempt a Sierras and all. I finished Sierras and all, but it was a pretty mid experience for me. Well, it's okay.
In general, how are you feeling about your season? How did it set you up for Sunday?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know. I've tried to be more conservative and like race less because it seemed like I watched people last year race a lot and get to the end and kind of fizzle out. And I use that to my advantage, I think. So I tried to maybe replicate a bit of that. And I had good momentum. I was a bit injured with this Achilles thing like all winter because I was focusing on halves and then was kind of out for February, March into April. So kind of into Broken Arrow was like, I don't know if we're going to like where I'm at right now. But it did start like gaining. Winning Tapec was cool. And then just been trying to train. And I feel like Sierras and all other variables got me that weren't training. So tried not to let that bash the confidence too much. And here we are.
I'm curious how you're feeling about the course. Like we were just talking off air, like you're from Fort Collins. So from the mountains, you've been running trails for a long time. Like, does this type of course like excite you? Do you feel like it's in your wheelhouse?
And what's it like?
Yeah.
Because we watched a short trail today, long trail tomorrow, and those seem to be like very rough. Yeah. Where does the Classic sit?
It's like nothing like that. Yeah. It's like there's no in between like a road, like cross country style race to what you guys witnessed today, which is like rugged, extreme mountain race.
Yeah.
So it's 2 loops, 800 meters of climbing total. That's it. 9 miles. So no climbing really for mountain like running standards, you know?
Yeah. It's like
it's unlike
feet.
Crazy.
Yeah. Less than Sunapee, which like you always come to Europe and blow your mind with how much vert there is. Yeah. And this like isn't that. So 2 loops, you really only like get a view for 3 seconds on this like little canal bridge. Like you can see it over the station. And I think my speculation is like they do this race as the like, I don't know, show ponies race kind of thing. Cause we run through town like twice. Yeah. We finished with this big, like long, like almost racetrack style, like around the station. So everyone can like pile in and it's very spectator friendly. Yeah. Well, kind of. So the grade's pretty low and there's 2 pretty flat sections, which I'm pleased with. Cause I feel like I train more speed, flat, like workouts. Cause that's my wheelhouse.
Heck yeah.
Where I do oftentimes struggle, I think, at the like really steep grades. But working on that. But I'm very pleased that this is the case for Sunday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of your training, we were just chatting about how you're still coached by Ben True, legend of the game, an amazing road and track runner who had an amazing career and who obviously has experience competing at this level. You're, as we've already established, experienced competing at this level. What have you learned from Ben about competing like for world's teams, even though it's a different discipline?
Yeah, I mean, he's like a man of few words, I guess. So you can kind of get it out of him that like, you know, he's vied for Olympic teams and been on plenty world teams and like been top at World Cross and stuff. Like he's not just going to tell you, you know, out of nowhere like what it's like. But honestly, like what's really helped me being coached by him is he's been in the shoes to be able to like cope with things like injury or like, I don't know, pre-race nerves. Like he knows how to handle those situations where you're really nervous, but you can't get too nervous. And so I don't know, I feel like it's nice because he can relate and like know how to talk me down. Like, oh yeah, just don't like, you can't care too much too early. Like you have to kind of save your energy till the race. And I don't know, he has really interesting perspective just from being in those positions. And I don't know, when I was dealing with the Achilles and like running through it, training into it because the season was starting, and he would just, you know, because he's done that before countless times as a pro, like where you're kind of managing an injury and it feels like, is this stupid? Is this not? So I could just bounce my like deep and inner thoughts of like, am I being dumb? And he could be like, no, for XYZ reason, we'll shut it down if it's here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, having that kind of perspective where no one's just going to be like, no, we can't run. It's like, we can, just with modifications. And if it gets to this point, we won't. And it's just really rational, which is nice. Yeah.
Maybe you could help me with my Achilles. Mind giving me his number?
Yeah, I can pass it on if you want.
I guess speaking on that for a second, like, how do you feel like your lead up to this event has been? Like, any hiccups, any like high points that really got you excited about your fitness?
Yeah. For better or for worse, no high points. Okay. Only
just
low points.
Okay, smooth and steady.
Smooth and low.
Smooth.
But I think that's good because it's kept like
low and slow.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Things like at bay. I mean, no injuries, thank God. Like everything has been really smooth. It's just been moving back to altitude has really been a humbling experience, as I'm sure.
Where are you based now?
Boulder.
Okay.
So I live in Boulder now, but yeah, so I think the altitude has like stomped down any chance for like a real like heater of a workout series. It's just been like demoralizing workout. But they've stacked up and like I'll race fine. So, I mean, for better or for worse, like expectations can still be high, but it's not like I do have a tendency to like light up with training and get super stoked and then, you know, injure myself. So I don't know. We'll see. The last 3 workouts were the first workouts all year since moving here. That went well. So
there you go.
We're doing all right now.
Just in time.
I know.
Perfect.
I know.
Like, you're technically coming down in altitude, so it's almost like, you know, when baseball players in the MLB like swing the weighted bat before they swing the
That's how it's been feeling. But like altitude, there've been 3 workouts at altitude. I don't know if the temps have dropped and that's helped, but like every other workout I've just gotten slower and these have actually gotten faster. So we'll see. It's maybe finally adapted.
Watch out. Let's go.
It's interesting to hear you talk about having Ben help you deal with nerves and nervousness. And obviously being at the World Championships is like as high consequence of a situation as you can have as an athlete. You have experience competing at this stage, but it does, I mean, you're suggesting that it does elicit some nerves. What have you learned about like not allowing that to impede your performance or the amount you can enjoy your experience here?
Yeah. I mean, I think also running in the NCAA helped a lot because it was like 3 times a year where you're like in the pressure cooker aggressively and like everything somehow depends on you and you're like, and I've had it where either that has destroyed my race and I basically have the worst race possible, or like I actually can excel through that. And so I feel like figuring out how I personally handle that, because it's different than other people. Like some people need that super hype, like a lot of music and stuff. And I need like to tell myself it doesn't matter because if I can like certainly over care about things. So, and then also talking about that with Ben where it's like, how do I like not let this affect training? Because sometimes it'll affect my sleep. It'll affect like my heart rate in workouts or easy runs and stuff like that. And just like letting him know, hey, I'm getting a little tweaky right now, like just for fair, like, you know, transparency. But yeah, I don't know. That's just how I approach it.
Because it is like the people who win at this stage are the people who can handle the pressure the best, you know, and like somehow channel it in a way that is healthy and conducive to performance. Because I mean, we could all sit here and identify athletes who are great in training, who like really do well at sort of B or C tier level races. And then they step up to where, you know, they should be competing for wins and podiums and somehow shrink in that moment. And it's hard to figure out the way towards, you know, being the people who can rise to that occasion. So really interesting. I know we have to be fairly quick here because you have a meeting to get to, but would love to ask you about your goals for Sunday. Obviously, we have another stacked team in the Classic, the mix between individual goals, team goals, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know as a team, like we all want to win, and I think we have a fantastic shot at it. So that's obviously going to be so cool. And it's fun because we don't really get to ever do this as a pro, to run for another thing besides yourself and your own individual goals. And individual goals is I would also like to win. So we'll see.
Heck yeah.
We'll see. I do think this course does suit me. So I'm kind of using that to my advantage and hopefully can let it rip, see what happens.
No pressure. Are you planning to do Golden Trail in 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll stick around here in Europe and then do the final.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So sick.
Any other closing questions for Lauren?
Can't wait to watch the show ponies and you race. It'll be so fun. Yeah. Cheering for you.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Lauren, thank you for joining us. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.